Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna use this beautiful scrapbooking paper that I found at thrift store. I started by taking one full page off, so be careful with that. Then I'm gonna use this envelope to measure the width of the folder. I cut it 6 inches in my case, and then I'm gonna score in the size of the envelope, as you can see here. So I fold it crisp, and then I use it, as you can see. Once it's folded, I score once again so I can have 3 pieces in the envelope. The first one is going to be for the envelope itself. And then in the center, I'm applying washi tape in very fast camera here, and I cut all the excess. It should stop like this. And then I'm going to apply glue to the envelope. And all what I'm gonna do is just paste it in the other space. So one flap is gonna have the envelope, the other one is gonna have the washi tape. So now I want to do a smaller envelope in the to paste in the place where the washi tape is. It's very straightforward, really, this folder, but for the envelope, I am using this piece of paper that I just fold in two with a little bit of the overlap, just making sure that it fits in my folder. And then I'm gonna, I want it to be open to that side, to the right side. So I'm gonna apply glue at some point, but first I wanna do all the folds. So this is gonna be the bottom of the envelope, and then the upper part, this part is gonna be the closure or the flap of the envelope that is gonna be open. I'm gonna create something else to close the envelope, but right now I think this is what we need. We will need to make the cuts, and we'll paste it, and we'll have our envelope. So we cut the two corners in the top and in the bottom. Something that I like doing with this, I mean, we can always use knives like I can do right now. I like very much having very crisp edges, especially if you're gonna use a knife, like in my case. But you can also use scissors. Actually, scissors could be a little bit more accurate than the knife. Even if your knife is sharp, sometimes it doesn't cut in the way you want. And I like making a small cut that is diagonal on the sides of the envelope, just to make sure that this envelope folds well when it's needed. I think that the folder needs a lot more details, and so I needed to give it some space on this, so I don't have any problems when I close the envelope. And then I'm gonna do exactly the same thing in the top. It's gonna be a little bit of diagonal cut, so it's gonna be a tiny bit below the line that we folded. So we're gonna go like this. As you can see, it's a diagonal cut. It's not a straight cut. And we do this on purpose, right? Because we want it to be very clear that that the flap is not gonna have issues when we close, just like that. And so now we can apply the glue. I like applying the glue in the two sides of the flaps, and then in the bottom, of course, the opening is gonna be open, and we're gonna put some sort of detainer there so it keeps closed when we want it. So we're gonna paste this in the folder because the background is washi tape. It's gonna be better if we use the rolling tape rather than using the wet glue. But if you, for example, stamp it this part, you can do and in another way. I just wanted to give it some sort of interesting way to be. And this has the opening right here. And then I'm gonna make a small pocket in the bottom. And so I'm gonna fold this piece of paper. As you can see, it's just already in the size of the flap. I was very lucky, but you can cut it in the size that you want. And then using as a reference the folder itself, I just decided to make my second fold. So I align everything and I just keep folding. I put my folder on the side and then I keep folding. And then I'm gonna make another flap like that I can later apply the rolling glue to attach to my folder. Just make sure that your folder is always aligned. I have a lot of issues with that when I don't use measurements or rulers. I love rulers, but um, sometimes when I'm recording, it's a lot easier for time um, reasons than not to use rulers. And then I'm gonna make a final flap in the bottom of this, on the bottom of this pocket. So we're gonna fold it right here, and then you just keep going until you complete the full fold. And then you can use again your bond to, have it crisp. And just like we did in the envelope, we will have to cut in the sides, but we will have this attachment, and it's going to be a lot easier to put stuff in there. If you paste it directly to the folder without having these flaps, you don't have that much space to put stuff. Usually it's very tight pasted to the folder. When we have these flaps, we usually can put more stuff in the folder if we want to, and that's why I like it. So I'm gonna use my favorite washi tape here, and I have been looking forward to use this washi tape in my project, so I'm gonna do that. And what I will do now is just cut the excess of the envelope, of the washi tape right here, and I'm gonna cut over here and in the other side as well. And the reason because I'm cutting instead of just folding and pasting is because the washi tape doesn't paste very well with the glue, and so it's a lot easier to just cut it. Alright, this is how it looks like. Now we can paste it to our folder just like we did with the envelope. We will have to use the rolling tape again because we're pasting over washi tape. If you pasted like some sort of paper in the background, or you just left the background white, you don't have to use a rolling tape. I do it because I really wanted something interesting in the background, and that's why I put washi tape there. And so just make sure that the folds are overlapped. And sometimes it's hard to paste it here, especially with the rolling tape. It's very sticky. And then I just apply pressure. I'm also using the washi tape on my envelope because I want to decorate using the theme of this beautiful green and gold that we have in this envelope. So I'm just gonna cut the excess, and that is how it looks like. So just like we did before, I'm gonna cut the excess of the washi tape, but you can fold it too. The excess of washi tape is not gonna have any negative impact in your project, so you can just keep it. I just like cutting it for a more clean result in my folder, and I think it's gonna look beautiful too. I'm planning to add additional tape and the decoration, so we're gonna spend some time on that. I'm gonna add first this beautiful lace stamp, and I'm applying that in black ink. The difficulty with this is that when we have long stamps, it's really hard to verify that the stamping is complete. Like in this case, you can see that there are like a little bit of white spaces, which is not a big deal to me. I think it gives this look of handmade. But if you're trying something different, or you want this to be a very clean stamping, I would suggest you to stamp in a different piece of paper and then paste it in your envelope, because there is always the possibility to do that. I could have done that if I didn't paste the envelope first. Okay, so I'm gonna close this up, and I'm gonna get some more tools to decorate the envelope. So I'm gonna go with this other washi tape. It's really pretty and very thin. So what I'm gonna do is just measure the size of the envelope, something like this, and I'm gonna put that, I think, below the green decorative washi tape, and I can just cut it by hand. That's the beauty of this. I love it. And then I'm gonna paste it, and just like we did before, again we need to cut the two sides of the washi tape on the envelope. And I'm just showing you this decoration of the envelope just because I really loved how the result was, and I wanted to see you to see how the process was as well. Okay, now we're gonna use our washi tape in this flower that you can see here. And the reason we're doing this is because we want this flower to have this beautiful green color. It's a die cut, so what we can do is just cover that in the washi tape, and then we can cut that in the shape of the flower. We're gonna use it as a stop for the small envelope. So basically, all what we have to do is paste the half of the flower on the longer part of the envelope, I guess, not in the flap, but in the other part. It's a little bit hard for me to cut die cuts, but there we go. And the washi tape is a little bit sticky, but I think it's pretty cool to use kind of colors here. Okay, since we're ready, as I said, we're gonna just paste the half of the flower, not the full flower. Apply glue only in the half of the flower, and then we're gonna apply this to our folder. You can see here that if I put the sticky part in the bottom, now we have a stopper. So you can close the envelope like this. And it's super cool. I really like this technique. I learned this from journalers many years ago, and I love it. I do this every time I can. Okay, so I'm applying a little bit more washi tape on my envelope because I just didn't have enough. And yet again, I'm gonna cut the excess. And again, you can do this. Maybe I should have done just 3 lines of washi tape and then cut everything together at the same time. I just didn't have the time. I guess I didn't think about it before I did it. Okay, next step is measuring kind of the size of this paper, or what I want to do is cutting the paper in the right size so I can apply the washi tape on the top of this piece of paper, and then I can cut and paste. You can see here that since I already have a piece of paper that I cut on the size of my flap, all what I have to do is just clip and cut small pieces of washi tape to cover the full space of this piece of paper. And once I have this done, I'm just gonna paste it on the space that I have available. Since I have excess of washi tape here, or what I will do is just cut excess, and then I'm gonna cut a diagonal piece of that piece of paper, and then I'm gonna paste it in there. So this piece of paper doesn't have flaps, so the only thing that we can put only a limited amount of ephemera here, but I apply glue only in the bottom and in the left corner of this flap. So I'm filling this up, as you can see, and I'm gonna use a sticker here in green, of course, to close my envelope. And then I'm classifying here some things. I'm going through my stuff to put the stuff in my beautiful small envelope. And I love the closure, beautiful. It's there, and now I'm classifying yet again to fill up the other pocket. And finally, I'm gonna fill up the tall pocket with tall ephemera, as you can see here. So, and for the closure, I decided to use this long piece of paper rather than applying some sort of automatic closure in my folder, just because I know that my friend loves also a hand stamped paper just like as I do, and I wanted her to have the possibility to use this wrapping closure for in her projects, because it's gonna be hand stamped paper. Okay, so I'm trying to fold in the right size here, and I'm gonna use my knife to cut, and then I'm gonna close with a little bit of washi tape. But before I do, I'm gonna hand stamp the paper, which is the goal here. So I want all of these, or as much as possible, to be handmade. And so I just wanted to make sure that everything was safe and secure. And I really love how the inside of the envelope looks like and how the outside looks like. I think it's the right choice for me. It was very pretty, and I love the washi tape that I was able to use in here. So I'm gonna stamp, and for stamping I'm gonna use a flower stamp, and I wanted it to be either green or blue, so I chose that flower stamp. And I started with this ink that I really didn't like much. It was kind of turquoise, which I thought it was a good idea, but it was too soft. Then I decided to change and put another one that is a little bit more um, bluish, let's say. It still is combined with that, and I put that in fast camera, but I stamped the whole paper. And I'm gonna do is just wrap my folder, and the closure was washi tape, as I mentioned before. And the washi tape was perfect for my purposes. So again, cutting the excess is the best alternative to me. Of course, I could have made it smaller, but it wouldn't make sense. And I want to put two lines of turquoise washi tape, and that's why I have this small washi tape in here. I want to prop it up on the sides, and I thought this was super cool when I decided to do it. Maybe the colors could have been a little bit better, but I think the design itself and the idea of putting lines and lines of washi tape was kind of interesting, because usually we don't have much chance to use the washi tape in a useful way, and I think that this was very useful for the closure and for the design itself. And so I think that when my friend receives this, she's gonna be able to figure it out and use the hand stamped paper, which I love because blue is my favorite color. Anyway, I thought this closure was super cool, and I ended up closing it up with this beautiful turquoise. I think the project came out pretty good. The closure is very interesting, and the colors are perfect. If you like this project, please consider subscribing. I appreciate you watching my video. Thank you so much. Bye.